Radiant team ban.
Welcome back, everybody, here to our coverage of the ESL 1 New York. It is the North American Division qualifiers to find out who will actually join Evil Geniuses at the LAN finals. Let's go straight to the game. That's what you guys came here to see and came here to hear, and I can actually give him voice now, as we've been waiting very patiently for Cloud9 versus Digital Chaos to begin. Very honored to have him here, as it's the first time I get to cast with him. PPD, man, it's great to have you on the stream.
Oh, yep. Hello.
You're making this thing a regular occurrence now. Cast with BTS a couple of nights ago. Now you're jumping on this stream.
Oh, I really like NA Dota. So it's fun to watch.
It got a lot more interesting since the reshuffle. More teams with potential.
Yeah. There's a lot of teams that are up and coming, and there's a lot of competition. And I think NA wins TI, and then all these NA teams are just like, yeah, I put these guys in in-house leagues all the time. Why can't we do this?
What do you think about the two teams that we've got here? So let's start with Cloud9. 1437's new child. Cloud9 said it's all meant to be about fostering new talent. Do you think they've got what it takes to bring down the top teams, or at least give you guys a challenge as well?
Honestly, I don't know. We haven't really practiced since TI, and these guys have only been playing against other NA teams for the most part, I think. But they definitely have world-class players. 1437, he probably learned a ton as a coach on Secret, and then Brax has always been good. MSS, I'm a huge fan of MSS. I played with Ritsu in in-house leagues, but I don't know too much about him. Seems like he's doing relatively well, and the SVG guy is kind of a total question mark for me, because I don't think he was very active in the in-house league scene where I play a lot. So yeah, I don't know too much about him, but seems like it's going pretty well.
I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on them as we go through it. And then we have our last team, Digital Chaos. So led by your former teammate AUI 2000, managed to get the man who obviously invented every strat in North America, Bulba. And bringing back the old workhorse, TC. Haven't really seen him in a successful team for a very long time.
Yeah, TC is, I really like him as a player. I feel like if I was to make a new, and I had, if TC ended up being on, I feel like I would be confident in his ability to play well and succeed. So, he just needs to be in the right environment, I think. Team really, really good. Yawer. He is under tag DC Water right now, but he's Sumail's brother. He's amazing, super, super talented. And I don't know too much about Buryu. I've played with him a couple times. He's a nice guy. He's really good communicator, which is one of the most important skills to have as a Dota player. But I think he's just kind of adjusting to the whole competitive Dota thing. So give him some time. I think he'll be a great player.
Well, to avoid confusion as well for this game, we'll just keep calling him Water for the broadcast, just for consistency purposes. Let's get into our game. You said he's Sumail's brother, but is he playing that Storm Spirit? I don't know if he's as good at it.
He'll be playing Storm Spirit for sure. They'll do Storm mid against Lina, and then Bounty Hunter will help out the Storm mid.
Is Bounty still viable? I've seen him in a couple of games, but
is Bounty still viable?
I know the question is almost wrong to even ask, but some games it feels like his impact's kind of less than what you would like it to be, and it's going to be really hard in a game like this if lane doesn't go the way they want it to go. Darkseer is a really, really good hero against Bounty, because it's pretty hard to gank a Darkseer as a Bounty Hunter in lane. So yeah, it's no, the hero's definitely still good. You just gotta be creative and kind of make it to level 6. You'll be fine. Yeah. That was kind of where I was going to head with it, but you've answered the question absolutely perfectly. Darkseer seems to be the new kid on the block. I don't think there's been anyone that's really been able to outlane the Darkseer, even with Earthshaker rotations in. They just don't seem to be able to keep this hero under wraps.
Gyrocopter is super good versus Darkseer, but he got banned in the first phase.
Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit, you could also do Storm Spirit safe lane. That's pretty good against Darkseer as well. Once Storm gets his soul ring, he can just kind of nuke down the Iron Shell creep with vortexes, and he just free farms in that lane. And then throughout the entire game, Storm Spirit's fantastic against Darkseer.
Looks like Cloud9 actually banned perfectly, because they took out the Ember Spirit before they pick up the PL as well.
Yep, that's a smart ban. No carry player likes to play against Ember when they're PL. They're just
10 seconds remaining.
There's not
No
even
fun.
a second option. Like what do you get up against the PL now? You banned out the anti-mage yourself. The
I
Gyro
was
and the
talking
Ember's
about it
taken
yesterday
out.
on the cast. I'm still a big fan of Sven. So,
Really, Sven?
Reserve
Do you
Yeah,
always
like-
want to call him up with something like Wisp or Dazzle or something like that to make him work?
I don't think he needs any help. I think Bounty Hunter, just with the track move speed, you won't get kited as hard. I think he'll be fine. We'll see. There's not there's not that many great carries against PL. Honestly, Bloodseeker's pretty good too if you go the right items. Again, but it can be tough against Lina. But it lanes really well against Darkseer, so I think it might be a really good pick this game.
Maybe they'll go for it. For now, it's Earthshaker into the hands of Digital Chaos. So we kind of feel out a little bit of our lanes, and the Dazzle actually gets picked up by
Radiant
Cloud9.
team pick.
We get more
Dazzle
survivability.
always a good combo.
Can you ever really go wrong with illusion-based heroes with the Dazzle heal?
Nope, that's what makes Dazzle an awesome hero.
Yeah. To mention, I'm now looking at Cloud9. Like their Roshan fighting isn't too shabby as well. I'm wondering if Digital Chaos can even play around that.
If they can get a track or two up, maybe they can see what's going on. The farm can
10
find a
seconds
good opening.
Do you actually feel like?
Heals,
Do you feel like
one of
Roshan's become a lot more important?
5 seconds.
Like, I know you said some things about it during your analysis about the TI5
Reserve time.
grand final, actually, when you were talking about CDEC and how like their movement and everything else just started to push everything back to Roshan. Is he now so much more viable than he was about 2 months ago?
Ooh,
Like
the-
Roshan, to actually commit a lineup where you can pick off Roshan to grab things like Templar Assassin and such.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, TA is an insanely good hero, so if he works into your lineup, obviously he helps out with Roshan as well. I don't know. I don't think you build a lineup directly to just do Roshan over and over. You just want to build a lineup so that you can team fight and proper wave spam and like wave push.
Mhm.
Those are like the most important things. Being able to defend your towers.
Pro team's got tons of that. But they got so much control as well.
10
Like I'm always a
seconds
big fan to see
remaining.
the Winter Wyvern. It's funny because he's actually on the opposite
5
team to where I thought he'd
seconds
end up,
remaining.
just with the Darkseer, that Vac into Curse combo.
Reserve time.
Oh, they did get the Wyvern. Yeah, Darkseer, Wyvern, that was like one of the big combos at TI that you were just like terrified to play against.
Yeah.
Team fighting is just so difficult when you have the Wyvern ult plus the vacuum.
I've
And then
cast,
into the wall or something.
I've cast a couple of games recently though where that Darkseer and Wyvern combo has become a lot more difficult to get. It's like players, they understand the combo's coming, so they just purposefully split up so much, so it's impossible to get this big Vac into combo.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you have to play it. Gotta
Radiant team ban.
not get caught in the combo.
It's actually almost like how the meta kind of shifts a little bit too. Like when you see a huge combo and it really impacts, and it takes you a while before you get used to playing up against it, and then
That's true. There was
then you move on.
10 seconds.
what's another hero that's kind of like that? Like Potom arrows and stuff, like Mirana. Like
Yep.
5 seconds.
if you like surprise Mirana, people like just aren't ready for the random arrows flying out of the trees.
I remember
Again,
that was
hit by things that they normally-
what Poppy was bitching about during TI4 back when you were still part of Na'Vi, and he ended up just either banning it or first picking Mirana just so he didn't have to deal with it because his
Yeah,
team
it's-
just couldn't adapt in time.
So annoying. I mean, you gotta pick what gives you the best opportunity to win. So
Yep.
can't play against Mirana. You can't play against Mirana. Simple as that.
It's a sad state though when your team's pushed to that point. Like we refuse to play against this hero because we just don't like playing
10
against it.
seconds remaining.
Or you can't as a team work out how to deal with it.
5 seconds
yeah.
remaining.
But every team has their own playstyle and preferences, so maybe they have a hero that the other team, wanted to ban every game and everything. Like this time, it's DC banning anti-mage because anti-mage isn't really a first two ban hero, but they have so much respect for and Ritsu's anti-mage that they just ban it.
Makes sense. Cloud9, that last pickup. Should this be a Lina core? Is probably the only other question I have in my mind right now.
I think it's probably going to be Lina core. Then I'll pick another support hero.
The laning phase just looks good for him to have that Lina versus Storm. Unless the Storm is shifted to the safe lane, which is the one thing they don't know, and they should get a Night
Radiant
Stalker.
team pick.
Yeah, that's going to be a support Night Stalker in the offlane with Darkseer, I think, or maybe just kind of roaming around. It's actually pretty good versus Bounty Hunter because he's one of the few supports that bounty can't just like right click. Like, so say if you're like a support hero and you're walking from lane to lane, generally like in most cases the bounty hunter is like has like an orb of venom and he's just like right clicking you on your whole path to your next lane and you lose like maybe half your HP.
Yeah.
But with Night Stalker, he's got so much armor, HP, attack damage. Like he can just sit there and right click the bounty hunter back and kind of put him away.
Then who does the bounty go after if he can't kill off the Night Stalker? If it's meant to be Dazzle,
He's gonna have to focus on either the off lane or the mid lane, and he's got to be careful because if the Night Stalker comes in at the wrong time, then he gets caught out, and like Lena's there too, like he'll just die. But Night Stalker will be very good for the early game, but if the Digital Chaos makes it through the early game, the Bounty Hunter becomes very, very good against Night Stalker, because if you actually track the Night Stalker, you get his nighttime vision, even like the Ag's vision too, if he gets an Ag's eventually, so pretty good.
looks like Digital Chaos had the Flash Farmer of all Flash Farmers, the Shadow Fiend, and we'll be switching at the mid. Actually, would you even switch it? Like, can you get away with a safe lane SF instead of just pushing the Storm to safe lane?
Yeah, you can do safe lane SF versus Darkseer, I think.
Is that viable, knowing that you can like have the camps to easily stack and flash farm so close to the mid lane?
They still might do Storm safe lane. I think maybe they just think Yawer is more comfortable in Storm safe than TC would be.
Okay.
I'm sure TC can definitely go mid on Shadowfiend and do just fine.
No, TC's played almost every role out there anyway, so he won't be out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. He was. I thought he was committing to being an offlane player, but I guess this team opportunity came up, and they needed a carry player, and he said, "You know what? I want to be on this team, so I'll do it."
Well, he played carry a lot back in his Team Liquid days. That was his role. Actually, they switched him around too, didn't they? He was initially like at #1 position, then they pushed him to mid.
That's true. That's true.
I think that was in the age of the Razor.
Oh yes, Razor, DP. Those were good times. I miss it.
Wait, really? Are you actually classing Death Prophet as a good time?
I miss it, man. Now it's just Lena Lash. It's way worse.
You know what I miss? I miss the age of Jakiro. I want to see more Jakiro back.
I miss Jakiro too. All my little cheesy push traps, they were so fun.
But they're so easy as well. Like, when they nerfed Liquid Fire, it was a sad day. Because you can get away with Jakiro off lane, he could easily support to push down towers. This was Team Empire that used to do it with Bristleback and the #1 position Jakiro.
Yeah, safe lane Jakiro. They're just like get some early levels, hit some towers.
And even the slow on the towers too. Like that was it was a ticket to die.
It's still good, you know, still.
But it's not good enough.
No, he's not good enough. He doesn't farm fast enough. Doesn't clear waves. And
maybe if Faceless Void was in there again, like then maybe you'd be able to look back the Macro Fire combo with the Chronosphere.
Maybe. Yeah, Void's got pretty nerfed too. So
yeah. It's actually kind of funny looking at the stats after TI, and you look at the difference between all the TI. So we went from TI 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and every time there were less and less heroes in the ignored pool. I realize that's doing double negative, which is really stupid to say. But the more and more heroes being used as you went through the TIs. And then we hit TI 5. Now I think it was something like 40 heroes were actually unpicked for TI 5.
Really?
Yeah, it might have actually been closer to 30, but it was a really high number.
Wasn't there only like 4 heroes that didn't get picked? Like 4 or 5 that didn't get picked to TI4?
Yeah, it was pretty low. Like it would be 4 or 5, probably max 7. Actually, I think 7 was TI3.
Yeah, I think it was really low for TI4 as well. I remember like there's a couple of them that we were considering picking, we just never got around to picking. So that says a lot for like the heroes that were viable in that patch.
No one tried to look for the diversity. Like the most diversity we saw was when Luna started getting picked up. Yeah, lower bracket hero.
People were just like, oh, Gyrocopter's man. What's a hero that's kind of like Gyrocopter? And they're like, oh, Luna, I guess it's kind of similar. Let's just do this. Let's see if it works. And it did for most teams.
I really did like our tours build. That's one thing that I know. I was talking to 1437 about this during the game. And actually skipping the second point up in the Luna Blessing.
Yeah,
to go for the max points up in Glaives.
Yeah, before at level 10 you'll get 4 points in Glaives. It scales really well. It goes to like 1,000 bounces or something.
Yeah, like it goes 1, 2, 3, and then like 8.
Yeah.
Or something crazy like that. It's a ridiculous like growth train. I'm surprised it's even like that. It definitely lets you do ancient stacks a lot quicker. Or anything really quicker.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 6.
Okay,
So-
1, 6. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still a 50% increase from level 3 to level 4. And if you don't do it then you gotta wait until level 12 before you can skill it.
Yeah, makes farming go so fast.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, we get to have ourselves a nice little pause as Brax can't hold his liquor. Or beverage, whatever he's drinking.
I hope it's not like.
Who was that I was talking to last night? Jenkins. Jenkins played in the same qualifier. He played Nurse Shaker and completely blew 3 Echo Slams in one game. Like it was full tilt.
Yeah,
And he said in the lobby chat almost after, it was just like, grab myself like some good hard liquor kind of style, and then some heavy deep breathing.
Yeah, that's rough.
It was a rough game. Like the level of tilt we've actually had in the US qualifier is ridiculous. In such one-sided game so far. I'm hoping DC and C9 is a little bit closer.
I watched. I don't know if you got against yesterday, but C9 3-0 DC for the Singapore tournament.
I caught the draft, but I didn't get to watch the VODs. I've been too busy before.
Yeah, understandable. The games were kind of close, but it seemed like C9 kind of has DC figured out. But hopefully today they come in with a new game plan and they try something new and have a little more success.
Yeah, well, what have they even changed up? Like if we look back at drafts of Digital Chaos, if they were figured out, like you're running Clinks, you're running Animage just banned out this time around, but it seemed like they... Is that the... okay, yeah, that's in the other qualifier. I'm actually missing my third game from that. But it seems like they kind of stuck to their guns on the same style of draft.
Maybe, but I think they're mixing it up. They have Yao going safe lane on Storm Spirit, Shadow Fiend. They ban out the anti-mage in the first phase, and that kind of led C9 thinking PL, and they have very good heroes against PL. Storm Spirit, Shadow Fiend, Winter Wyvern, and Earthshaker are all very good heroes against PL for the most part. Bounty Hunter, not so good.
I'm going to ask you quickly, because I just got a report of it as well. Can you mute yourself inside the game?
Inside the game?
Yeah, so if you're transmitting inside the game, just mute yourself there.
Oh, you're doing both.
Yeah, I handle your audio through the mixing desk.
I'm sorry.
So, it's alright.
I just turned it on after the draft because I was like, I don't have it on. Yes, LD made me turn it on, so.
Well, every studio does things a little bit differently. We control it all from this end, just so we make sure everything's nicely balanced. Alright, so let's get to our laning phase. It will be, as you said, like, the lane are going to go into the mid lane. No real surprise there whatsoever. And TC, like, you were saying that it's going to be a safe lane Storm. Judging by his item build, it looks like you're right. Possess have to play the mid lane.
Yep, that's what they're going to try and do. See how well TC can do in his...
The battle begins.
So typical mid-roll.
I'm watching this mid ward appearing a lot more too. This little guy here for the Dire side.
Yeah, it's really hard to counter. Most people will put the sentry ward in the river so they can kind of D-ward both sides.
So you can see like this little bush over here as well as up on the hillside.
Yeah.
So you get it right there. But yeah, feel free to draw as well, man. Go nuts. Like we have the tools for a reason.
Oh, if I'm in charge of camera, I need to have one hand on my area.
You're only in charge of camera for the guys on Dota TV. So if you're listening on Dota TV and like there's a lot of bugs in the broadcaster lobby right now, so it might be smoother if you use directed camera. So we take the pressure off PPD a little bit.
Come on, man. Best cameraman, NA.
Well, no, I thought that was meant to be No-Tail, except he's from Europe, but he did it in NA at the summit. Everyone loved his camera work.
Really?
Yeah.
I should probably hate it. Whenever you watch pro players like cast, it's like awful because their cameras move like way faster and they like jump across the map for the most part, and casters have it like nice and smooth and it just like drags across the screen. And,
just enable smooth drag, turn off acceleration. That's it. But you move like a snail, so you got to predict where you're going to move. You can't just jump and try and react to it all. Which is a little bit more challenging. Right. So AUI hasn't felt like he's had that much of a presence. He came having a bit of...
Night Stalker was there at the very beginning, and they have that sentry ward up on the high ground.
And he missed the bottle snipe, or I say the courier snipe.
Alright, he got the sentry though, so now they have no sentry for...
That should be a bit of a problem for Brax. His Shed Tango was on cooldown, so he couldn't make the most out of that timing when they both saw sentries. And how's Brax even meant to play this lane? Do they have another sentry they can give to him?
Night Stalker. No,
There's one of the Dazzle.
157 has the other sentry.
Oh. Brax
Oh, wow.
is keeping TC out. With level 2 Razors, that could have been close to death. But he's just chilling it.
You would have got like maybe one right click and that C-Rays or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe killed him.
Savage now actually finds himself with an Invis rune. So the Night Stalker might try and turn the tables here in the mid lane, but that's only if TC comes out too far. And just knowing how TC plays, this man he's Mr. Cautious.
They have the sentry there, so they know.
True. Well, actually, he should know that as well, because they just dewarded that.
Yeah.
But he walks directly into the river instead.
Yeah. Base.
AUI is about to try and move a little bit more. He's still got that mid race, but because the Line Striker Ray can't get himself in range,
Yeah.
Brax just backs out.
Maybe he could have killed him there.
Well, they're actually going to have a crack over on the Wyvern, but without mana for MSS having an Iron Shell, and of course Arctic Burn, it's just not possible to find the kill. A lot of pressure being applied. And as so far, like, it looks like the CS is still very comfortable. Perfectly for both sides, as the Darkseer is not really picking up that much, same for the Earthshaker, however. But PL's got everything he wants, like 19-7 so far. Against what is his counterpart, which is the Storm Spirit at 15-4.
Yeah, Storm Spirit's got, he's got to deal with that Darkseer lane, CSing under tower. Not always the easiest, but Storm is one of the better heroes to do it, because he can CS with the Vortex, he can CS with his Overload, and he also has really high base armor to like tank creeps.
How do you sustain that when you run a safe lane Storm Spirit? He's getting his life back from the Wyvern, but to keep up with that mana, do you still try and carry the bottle?
You just rush Soul Ring, usually.
First blood will be middle lane, so TC. Fissure came in to try and block it off, and successful at doing so there was no escaping for Brax. And AUI is still hovering around here, waiting for an opening on 1437. And they should have Fissure. Yeah, Fissure's actually back off cooldown again, so 1437 is going to get caught out, and this will be a good opening for DC. Waiting it out for the time, TC just going to attack in nicely, and he'll take the pick off. So that's
time. And there's a regen rune top.
So he gets to fill up his bottle, he gets 2 kills. He's now going to get ahead in CS, and definitely ahead in net worth.
He's doing well, you know. I think we can. Oh, he died in neutral scrap.
Yeah,
that's what happened to AUI.
He's just denying himself, but luckily they actually changed it now. You won't like denies as well as Roshan kills. Don't actually count to the kill count. That was good. It's really, really good.
A little less deceptive.
Yep.
The hour's getting, or water is getting a bottle first, which I'm sure it's fine. I expected the Soul Ring, but I'm sure he'll get both.
Control the bottom rune, like he's getting closer towards his level 6, and then bottom rune control shouldn't be too difficult. The Night Stalker's trying to make his run down for the courier. Actually turned it around because he's actually using all the bottle charges, which means the Night Stalker doesn't make this run at the right time, just because of that action.
Well, he's gonna bottle crow, but he missed it. He's trying to put a lot of pressure on this lane, but I think it's really likely that they can kill him.
Well, do they have any other choice? Like, if you wait any longer, he's gonna hit level 6, and then this gank won't happen. Silencer doesn't have the levels. So there's no silence to control the Storm, and even if he does have that, is that going to be enough lockdown to keep the Storm Spirit in check?
Silence is really long at night. Level 1's 5 seconds, so...
Then you're fully restricted to only ganking the Storm Spirit during night, unless this Lena can pick up... Well, Yule Scepter will always hit that Light Strike Array.
Yeah, I should get the Yules eventually. No, Storm's pretty good this game. They don't really have too much...
They're going to try and have a crack at it. Well, MSS decides against it once his Creep Wave also blocked up the path. So he wouldn't be able to reach water.
Yeah, like 1 Vortex or 1 Static Remnant, and then Wyvern's Thunder Blast just kills the entire Creep Wave.
Looks like MSS is really worried about 1437 as well when that Splinter Blast comes in. It's a good thing 1437's got so much mana. He can start regenerating them all up. It looks like he's actually leaving.
Yeah, he's too low.
Sustains, good remains.
And this is really problematic for Cloud9. It doesn't really feel like they got control anywhere. DC's the one who are finding the rotations. TC's even confident enough just to walk up. They have an observer worth seeing this, but he just takes the dire stacks now. This SF's going to become a real problem for Cloud9.
Yeah, I think he'll probably rush the mech as well, and then kind of take any team fight they want.
Are you a big believer in the mech on SF? Kind of always feels like he doesn't have enough mana to support such an item.
It could be okay. You just need to, you need to actually use it, make use of it. Make sure you go get some tier 2 towers or something. Some teams buy it, but then they don't it effectively, and it seems kind of bad.
It's like watching a Phantom Lancer who buys BTs but never leaves his lane, doesn't split push it out. We actually had that last night. It was a BT Phantom Lancer who also completed a full drums, but it took him 20 minutes until he left his lane. Real world problems. Now AUI is able to find some levels on top. And she triggered Dust to try and get closer to him.
Dire's
A bit of a blow there for 1437. Still no control, however. Because notice that the Dazzle's got slow, there's not that many stuns available for Cloud9. Might even be a bigger problem too, the question mark, what happens once BKBs start to arrive on the SF? They've got no stuns that will pierce the immunity. The only thing they could have is a lot of damage from Lina.
Yeah, Lena's gonna need an axe for that though. I mean, SF's gonna get like, I don't know if you choose to do a mech or not, but he'll have a pretty early BKB regardless of how this game goes, I believe.
He hasn't made up his mind yet. He finished up the ring as well as the wand. With the flash farming you can get from the SF, he can choose whatever the hell he wants. Frack's gonna get lucky this time with the regen rune. So, in this game for Cloud9, like, is your goal just to keep farming up, get as much as you possibly can, and then just feel by power of numbers, aka PL and the strength of teamfight, that's how you win?
Yeah, they're gonna need to kind of like wait for Darkseer and Lina to get their first set of items, Lina to get her Yules, Darkseer maybe to get his mech, and then they can start kind of committing to team fights, but PL is not going to really be able to do much, if anything, in team fights. He's going to go drums right now, he has them, then maybe he's going to get bots, and maybe he can come in like at the end of team fights and kind of clean up, or maybe throw a couple lances, but it's not going to be very useful against all this AoE that Digital Chaos has.
So is it still worth going into the Diffuser Blade as his next item, or should he get something a little bit tankier that allows these illusions, like, make him a lot harder to deal with for DC?
It's just it's not the best PL game. I think you should just stick to the build and hope to go late game.
I'm not quite sure if late game's going to do it for him. With Storm Spirit able to get pickoffs, the SF, who's normally a great teamfight controller, and TC actually decided to go for a Helm of the Dominator. They must really be looking to stack and really play for late game themselves.
Well, he can do Ancients with this now, and they didn't really have an Ancient Farmer before, and C9 doesn't really have an Ancient Farmer at all either.
It's like this Wyvern's on the run. He's gonna, well, actually, he can see 1437, but there's no support coming in, and the PL's not going to force the issue.
Alright, so clean getaway for the Dragon.
They try to doppelganger in, and really as a PL, okay, the doppelganger is actually a decent level, so it's not that long of a cooldown.
Yeah, he's not going the stats build or anything.
Ivan's actually holding on to this. Like, okay, he's going to Splinter Blast, try and drag the creep wave down, or at least make it so the tier 1 tower doesn't die straight away. You got your wish over on AUI. You hit level 6, so the tracks are now on the field.
Really good first 10 minutes from DC here. Track up.
It's like a very passive game, but it also feels like the perfect decisions from both sides. Not to try and find engagements.
I think things are going really well for Digital Chaos. I think now that they have track, they can start getting kills, and those kills are going to be worth so much.
Radiant's top tower.
Cloud9 obliges. It's like, how... Suppose they have enough control themselves. The Wyvern's almost hit level 6. You've actually got your curse already up and running. So locking down someone like PL before he can doppelganger got things for this.
Yeah. Just they have no, C9 has no catch other than Lina. And Lina needs that Yules first, and she's getting close, but there's a bit a ways to go, and that is your only reliable kind of like lockdown or catch isn't always the best.
And how's she even meant to keep up? Like, when you're having your own stacks being taken away by the SF, and even if you do go up for a stack, it could be watched or have the experience leashed out by the bounty hunter. How's she meant to flash farm to catch up?
Well, she's got a free mid lane now that they pushed the tower. maybe like another like hard camp stack here, and she'll have it, and then they can look to get active after that.
Well, Ninestalker's in position for that.
I'm over here.
It's like Water's not a healthy man. She dropping his Arcade Bruce and Soul Ring by triggering that he goes down to 1 life. There's nothing from Cloud9 that's closer, so he's under no pressure whatsoever. Bounty Hunter slipping around. It looks like TC, Bulba and TC, they're going to move up. They're under the cover of smoke, and they're going to push Bounty Hunter in as the first one.
I want to kill this Lina before she gets her Yules.
Well, they should be able to. There's the track. Fissure. Shuriken Toss also available, and they find themselves a kill with 3 players putting towards it. And then new track over on that PL. We'll easily be able to doppelgang out of it, but with the Echo Slam from Bulba, and now the follow-up curse, this Ninestalker, very difficult to escape out. The Shuriken Toss will fly again, and another kill coming in for AUI. They find 2 players from Cloud9. Cloud9 brought everybody up there to try and defend.
Yeah, that was huge. It was 2, you know, Lina was a big kill. Ninestalker, not the biggest kill, but still worth quite a lot. Lina almost had her Yules. I think she may have had the gold, but didn't buy it quick enough, as she was trying to not die. And yeah, so she doesn't have Yules yet, and that was 2 track kills, I believe.
Yep.
So
2 track kills with 3 involved in it too. They spill in
a lot of money.
They spill in a little bit more. Now in Cloud9, like this almost feels like the time where they just have to dodge. You get the PL with BTs now. Comes down to harass Water, but Water never even left. Like, he never even left the bottom lane when that top fight was happening. That was a 4-on-5 that still ended up being a 2-0, but he's actually out of mana. PL could make the most out of this one. There's no way to run any further. Ninestalker's also on the run in. During this nighttime, the Fissure will slow it down. They'll trigger the Soul Ring and get back in range of the tower. Lancers will keep Bulba at bay, and they force DC's rotation, but it didn't stop them from taking that tier 1 tower on top.
Yeah, that was good. Good play by Ritsu there. He almost got Yawer. He forced a lot of rotation, but doesn't mean they're not in a really difficult spot right now.
Yeah. How much is it overall? So with the last fights coming in for DC, they have about 3.5k net worth advantage. Your experience is pushing towards 3k as well. If the PL actually got that kill, I'd be a lot more optimistic for Cloud9. Just for the fact that if PL can get farm, the control factors for DC may not be enough.
That'd have been a huge kill. Bulba's still pretty far off his Blink Dagger, but once he gets that, his job is, or Witsu's game as PL, it's very, very difficult.
Cloud9's looking for an easy pick. Brax with this invis room moved in behind the tower. They don't know that the Wyvern is still here. But at the same time, they don't really have enough power to just push down the lane beyond Iron Shell effect.
He doesn't have his TP either, so...
Alikuri's bringing one in now. A couple of extras, and the Weave actually gives him the vision. The Yule set to freshly over on Brax, and they'll get the stun. They'll commit Laguna Blade if required, but it's not. So Lina will take the easy kill. Wyvern will go down. Savage is kind of caught behind the tower.
Savage? Is that what we're calling him?
I was calling him Savage last night, but I don't know if it's SVG, if that's what it's meant to be.
Let's just see how savage he goes this game and make a decision.
We'll nickname him that anyway. He can modify his name. Echo Slam on MSS as Water jumping himself back. The Shallow Grave going to keep MSS alive and actually kill off Bulba. That's going to delay the Blink Dagger, but MSS able to get himself into the tree line. He's tracked up, however, so this should be an easy race for TC. The Yules have to make it a little bit more difficult to get AUI up, but they've already managed to find the 1-for-1 trade-off into the tree line. But TC up a long way. That Laguna Blade dropping him down, but they get the curse over on the Ninestalker. He can't do anything apart from actually live. He actually doesn't die. With the Lances coming in from the PL, this fight's going the way of Cloud9, and Wyvern has to Arctic Burn himself a long way in. The Urn is ticking him down. It will not be enough to find the kill, however. Now is the perfect fight for Cloud9. They get huge amounts out of that one with a, what will end up being a 4-for-1 trade?
Yeah.
3-for-1?
No, 3.
3-for-1.
3. Maybe 4.
They found him. 4-for-1 trade.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there for DC. They committed a lot for the Darkseer initially underneath the tower, and a good grave by 3-7 kept him alive for quite a while. And then they kept chasing, and then Lina got another kill after the initial kill. Do the Bounty Hunter, and...
It felt like Cloud9 just couldn't finish the job they started. Even with SF being as low as he was, it was... He kept chasing, feeling like he could find the kill. And then one lands from a PL. Like, PL got 3 kills out of that fight alone. And yeah, they find the Storm Spirit out. This should be a Light Strike Array and Laguna to ensure the kill, and with the fact they have just enough control time. Now the Storm Spirit gets picked off too. While on bottom lane, oh, the timing. The Shuriken Toss is already connected, so they just need one more hit to kill off the Night Stalker.
That's another track kill for DC.
It's only level 1 track still, however. But we are only 17 minutes in, so we can't expect much more than that.
We are. Bounty's actually, he's gonna go to the mech this game on Bounty. He's getting a lot of gold. It's pretty farmed.
Is this... he's got arcane boots. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't build the mech over on the SF.
Yeah,
because they're feeling they can just get the Greaves on the Bounty Hunter instead.
For sure.
And that SF's going to have a great time once that Greaves is up too. Or should have a great time. He's still top net worth by 500. But those 3 kills, like, it's actually hilarious how top heavy this game is. PL and the SF have 9k and 9.5k net worth, and the nearest of them is 6k on the Storm.
Yeah, SF and PL are taking off. SF was really far ahead, but like you said in that last team fight, PL got like a bunch of kills, and he got 3 kills, right?
Yep.
Last team fight. So he was 0-0 and 0 before that, but that helped him almost catch up to TC. And naturally, he'll always be behind Shadow Fiend just because of how fast Shadow Fiend farms. But PL, in most cases, does a lot more with that much farm. Shadow Fiend would.
The situation may have been escalated considering like TC took so much more of Cloud9 stack, so the Lina didn't get anything else. Or she would have a little bit more. There you are, does find that kill as we come out of the pause. This Helm of the Dominator, though, has not been used yet. He's been using it for an Alpha Wolf. So they've had an Alpha Wolf sitting behind, and not actually stacking up the Ancients. See?
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, none of their heroes do stacks that well, but
It'll be a slow process for TC.
Good armor and lifesteal, and he's kind of going for this right-click build, which I think is probably the best approach against PL.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll go like SNY, HOD, maybe like a Daedalus and a Butterfly point. I'm not sure.
You shouldn't have that much problem actually killing off the PL, right? Like you raise through the illusions,
yeah,
and then you find the right PL and you actually attack the real PL.
Yeah, there's like a million different builds you can do on SF. Gotta choose the right one. Like this is more of the hard carry SF kind of a build.
Try and have that full man mode fight up against whoever tries to do it against him. He'll still need a little bit more life though, won't he? Like up against a hero like Alina, and Brax hasn't really been slowed down that much. He's still running like Yules and Arcanes. The next big item will probably be that Laguna Blade upgrade into the Ags.
I don't know. When Linas get Arcane Boots, I generally think they're going towards the Bloodstone.
Okay.
But we'll see.
It's a good momentum based item. And actually, do you need... If it was a BKB on the SF, maybe you'd consider the Ags. But because he's not doing that, maybe you're right. Maybe Bloodstone's the better path.
Just bought a Sage's Mask, I think. I'm not sure what that's for, actually.
Wait, really?
Maybe he's going Orchid.
Good against the Storm, but...
Yeah, it seems like an odd lean item.
Yeah. Especially considering by the time you probably finish that, Water's going to have himself the BKB. Like, if that's what he's forced into. He could even just buy himself like a casual Yule Scepter of his own.
Just wait, see what he gets. Or he's going to die down here.
Yep. Brax able to get the Yule Scepter off, and they get the stuns. And an easy burst heal. The Darkseer is the one to take the kill, however.
So that's not too bad. That's a smoke,
That actually brings MSS in range of his Greaves. We can start saving some mana of his own.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll go for the Greaves.
Would it be better actually to go for like something like the Blink Dagger? Try and get a little bit more control during the team fight?
Maybe get the Blink and then get the Greaves after. Better.
And do you really gain anything from rushing Greaves? Like apart from the fact that you just save a little bit more mana?
Depends on the game. It's more about removing the negative debuff from yourself in the game. Maybe if you're up against like a Silencer or like a Storm who got like a quick Orchid kind of thing. But Stormwind Bloodstone. There's not any really. You could remove track, which is nice, but there's no reason that can't wait until after your Blink Dagger.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like AUI is getting closer and closer towards having his Greaves. He's going to complete up that mech. So just needs the recipe now. The expensive part of it all.
A little more teamfight potential. But this game is getting later and later, and I'm starting to like how this PL is go into the late game. Bulba almost has his blink. So close. It's a pretty late blink, honestly, for an offlane shaker.
He did get zoned out pretty heavily. There was just no space for him to move. Like, what are you meant to do against a PL anyway? Like, you can't block him in and think he can get a kill, because he'll just doppelganger over the fissure wall.
That's true. He did roam mid and get that kill, though. I just thought, maybe they'd give him a lane at some point during this game and help him get an earlier blink, but he's got it for the most part.
Well, nice Soccer found that Alpha Wolf. TC will have to find a new friend. And TC is going in for the BKB build. He's got Erg Club as well as the Mithril Hammer in his stash at the moment.
Oh, that Sage Mask was for a Soul Ring. The Sage Mask on Lina was for a Soul Ring, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for Bloodstone.
Yeah. Whoops.
Okay. we both didn't put one and one together and make two.
Okay, first game of the day.
It's the warm-up, right? It's the warm-up.
Yeah.
I was actually waiting to say something even stupider, because that's normally my moment to actually prove, I have most of the chat just say, oh, Toby, you're drunk, by saying he's going to go something like Medallion. They go for an early Roshan, which is what they started here. But Brax, we get the Line Strike Array over an AUI, but in comes Water. There's a good ball landing in, but Brax very early, cursed as well as shallow graved from either side. So these control factors and saving factors are out, but a back from MSS, a three-man wall, but TC, what a time to have the BKB and the Echo Slam from Earthshaker, ensuring the kill, but they only managed to pick up Darkseer. The future control is still there, but you've got Laguna Blade up for Brax. Line Striker Array's off cooldown, and they've worked through that BKB of TC. The problem is he just can't finish any job. Water got the perfect control, so Brax can't finish what he started. He'll in fact go down in this fight over the bottom river. Phantom Lancer still wants to keep fighting, throwing more of himself in, using this wall as the filter. But what else has he got? He's still got Diffusal Blade charges, they're on the run, the weave, removing the armor now, which is also another problem, as the Lance actually being dodged by a ball lightning, but they try and charge him with that little dash. Can't get close enough to Water. Both teams, they're trading blows, but not finding any more pickoffs.
Super scrappy fights from sides there. Just, PL versus Bounty kind of things. Best winner's curse there, either by Buryu, but
Both teams seem to get so timid after that happened. The curse got thrown out, the grave got thrown out, so then Cloud9 didn't want to commit because they were worried that they would end up dying. There was no saving grace from 1437, and DC didn't want to commit because there was no curse, and they can only play on one avenue, right? It's like when the wall's here, you can only play up and down this direction.
A really good job by Bulba and Yawer not letting the Lina kind of combo off the Yules. There's two different Yules combos in that fight, and the first one Yawer zipped in and pulled him and stopped Bounty Hunter from getting bursted, and then the second one I think was Shaker, or no, the first one was Shaker, the second one was Lina. But it's really important to stop Lina from comboing, pulling someone up with her ult. So,
yeah,
good job by them.
I don't know if that's also the sweetest spot for Bulba to come in and throw that Echo Slam.
Probably.
Because he only got a one hero stun. They got the kill on the Darkseer because of it.
That's true.
And they just also smoked underneath a Dire Observer ward. They're pinging in to go for Roshan. Now, Cloud9 can look for this. They have Dazzle. And this is where I don't understand how you can actually sneak Roshan when Weave could be used at all times.
Dazzle's kind of far away. Yeah, supporting over here.
Okay. When you TP like that, an instant wave, yeah, they see it. Roshan's already down to half of his life. Almost like DC don't really have a desire to go for this. Not unless they're trying to bait Cloud9 to come and have a look and then they find a kill. But the Dire Observer wards are still watching this perfectly. And there's no sentry wards. Are they bringing sentries out now? Yeah, they're bringing 2 sentries out now. I think they realize that they're being watched. You should probably assume they're being watched anyway. Yeah, they'll get both Obs and Sentry down. They just don't see the deeper Obs ward.
Yeah, this is kind of a spot you just have to de-ward whenever you think they could potentially have a ward there. It just gives way too much vision.
Like, how do you know? Like, as a team, you're sitting there, and like, you start Roshan, and Cloud9, well, there was a lot of players from DC missing. Maybe the weave was just a check.
Yeah, they know now. They know now.
Okay. So here they come. Bottom tier 1 tower push. Pretty easy to mop up that creep wave. And it looks like Cloud9 aren't in a position to fight. Like, they're fully tracked up. So they can't break free of this vision that DC have.
Just don't want this. Like SF can frontline, but if he gets comboed, but the Lina uses him, he kind of has to BKB. And they don't want to like waste it. So
kind of feels weird too. Like I almost want to say like Cloud9 just. They should never try and take such a fight, because they do, like, we still have to remember that the PL is their number one. Like, Mr. Man to BT's got split push central right here.
Radiant's top tower is
I'm wondering too if it's going to get to a point where Cloud9 could even just smoke themselves in and take out Roshan. And maybe that's actually what DC is thinking, hence this Centaur still here.
Yeah. They really want to Rosh. Both teams are just like totally focused on this Roshan.
But what does it really gain you? Like, if you get the Aegis the Immortal, what's your next objective?
Your 2 towers, I think.
That's it?
I don't think C9 really needs it, but they need to make sure that Shadowfiend doesn't get it or Storm Spirit doesn't get it.
Ah, true.
Because like Storm is pretty good, or he's really good. He's really good this game. But if he gets 0 mana from like the PO illusions, then he's not that useful. But if he dies and comes back to full mana, then PO is gonna have some problems.
Interesting choice from TC. Butterfly, like, he really is building for the late game.
Yeah, that's good. PL's not really here. You go MKB on, so
It's actually crazy how little kills we've had in this game. Most of the matches we've had across the North American division so far have been fairly intensive as far as kills go. That's also because the Storm Spirits got such a big opening that they're finding pick after pick up. I haven't really felt that presence coming out from water.
yeah, he's kind of trying to do his own thing, but he's got to really worry about that Lina. Night Stalker as well is quite the problem. He gets silenced.
Radiant's middle tower
Can't really do anything.
attack.
Well, is that when you look for more of a defensive item? Because he's going for regression, like he's going for this Orchid build. But you just, like, is that the better play to go for the Orchid? Like, you just look for momentum-based Storm.
Fine. You just probably want to use it on Lina in team fights or Darkseer.
Lina, Blink Echo straight away. That is not a happy Brax. He'll go down. They'll also find 1437 out of position. The perfect time for the Orchid to arrive. He got in and got the silence over on the Dazzle. No shallow grave potential to keep Brax alive. And now they can do Roshan.
No buybacks on either of them, so this should be relatively free. They might try and do something with Darkseer, like try and back him on a high ground or something, but
He's got the Blink Dagger, so he could try it.
pretty risky stuff, considering they actually... Oh, he got the wall.
So he's got copies of SF. And now he doesn't have a copy of anything. Those got killed off. And AUI, you look at MSS, he's going to get tracked up, and they're going to jump up after him. The PL's still in the neighborhood, so AUI may not be able to get out this one scot-free. But MSS, okay, well, they actually do get away. TC comes out to help them. And without that Darkseer, there's no more plays now. Storm Spirit gets the Aegis.
Huge for DC there. MSS was making a really, really greedy play, because I think they knew that they had this ward, yet it still hasn't been dewarded. I didn't know then they certainly know now, though.
It's just, like, as you said, like a great position for DC. Doesn't look like it on the graphs. Like, you get a very sharp spike on both experience as well as net worth. But it's never really gone beyond 3k either way. And when we thought DC had a really good start at the beginning of the game, like, you still had that in that great counter fight from Cloud9.
That's true. But I think any, like, well-executed team fight should definitely go the way of DC. But, you know, it's Dota. Still, there's always room for mistakes.
I'm actually wondering, how does Cloud9 kill off the Shadow Fiend once he has Butterfly? Because, like, you're not going to have the Nine Stalker pick up a Monkey King bar. Right now, he's just trying to get the vision to get the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
And the PL's not building MKB.
As much as possible.
Like, this actually looks like a Skadi build for the PL instead.
Lena's got a lot of magic damage though, and he's not incredibly tanky. Only 2,000 HP, so yeah, he's definitely gonna be very hard to kill.
To actually think what would happen once he picked up the Titanic, looks like bottom lane. Long jump in, the curse however over on Brax, controlling up MSS as well as 1437. This is the fight they really wanted to have. Water, not enough mana to actually keep going, but he's got a regeneration rune bolted up, so if he wants to trigger it and go for the final jump on MSS, he could, but they already found the 2 kills they wanted, and they can push for the towers now.
Dire's bottom tower.
Pretty big, man, if they actually win this game. I think they've lost their last 7 games in a row to C9.
Pretty rough result to try and have.
Yeah, it's gotta be pretty demoralizing. So
Yep.
to come in like on this, you know, in a best of one or a single elimination qualifier for ESL New York, which is I guess a tournament where, you know, everyone really wants to attend.
Yeah, especially the North American teams. Like this is on their
Yeah.
home turf.
I know, it's so convenient.
No huge ass long ass travels. 18-hour flights to get to your location.
In New York City, man, an awesome place.
Yeah. It is actually not too bad as well. And ESL is going to do better things with the theaters after the lessons we learned last year.
Yeah, there was a couple of hiccups, weren't there?
Just couple. But hey, think of it this way: you had more to talk about in your blog.
Yep.
Well, tier 2 tower. They're coming out to defend this. Cloud9 want to try and fight. They're smoked underneath the observer ward, but they smoked before they hit the obs. So DC may feel a little overconfident at this point. And Brax looking for that jump in position as well. They're going to jump forward towards the Night Stalker. He's really tanky, however, and the Glimmer Cape makes it even harder to find that kill. TC winding up the ulti. They've already killed off the Night Stalker, and now Brax, he's in trouble. They've lost 2 big ones, and MSS on the retreat out. They may lose another one. It's PL on the back lines. There's a lot of PL here, but he needs a lot more of himself into the tree lines. 3 seconds until Doppelganger. The Fidge is keeping him out, not to mention Darkseer with the back. Actually going to find 2 pickoffs now. Doppelgangers and TPs away. That actually ends up being a 2-for-2 trade-off, even if the tower does go the way of DC.
That was unbelievable. I actually don't understand how PL got away there.
He got space. Like MSS did it. Like he did it on that bottom river fight with the vac wall, which caused chaos against DC, and just that small little blink back into a vac and surge away. He got the space for the PL. Fissure from Bulba didn't really help out because they had no way to chase.
Calling out Bulba on that one. That one's on you, buddy.
Yeah, can we think of it more the positive angle? MSS, great play. Bulba.
Well, no, like they were like sitting on top of the PL, like 3 heroes, and then Shaker had both Fissure and Totem up, and all the PLs were on top of him, and he was like looking for the right one, even though they were all in like this AoE. So, maybe he was nervous.
You have the grounds to call him out. I'll just say, Bulba, I still love you. You're still.
I know he'll listen to the cast too. So
he will. Like he listens to every cast. Whenever there's a professional player putting out any opinions, he'll always be there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can learn. Maybe you can learn if you can learn one thing from it, then it's worth it, right?
Yep. It's also credit to him that he takes out so much time to do that stuff.
True.
Huh?
He's also very, very fiendy. He'll be like, dude, why'd you say that about me?
Hatred.
Come on, man.
You gotta take self-criticism.
It's not hatred. I love Bulba. I just think it's funny.
Brax, try to prepare a trap. AUI. Oh, he's so close. He checked the wrong corner.
Oh, man.
The ping came out from Brax. They just don't know. Nice Dog is in another corner. The Fish will throw out, and now they just trigger the ultimate. But the jump already from DC. That Water managed to find Brax. So the Storm Spirit kill on the Lina.
Radiant's bottom tower
As Night Stalker runs himself away. This is not the start you want to have when you're trying to prepare a defense of your tier 2 tower. You have to let it go.
They're trying to make some risky plays because they know like the kind of position they're in.
Storm. Okay, there's your doppelganger. And he was illusion baiting, not falling for it. They know that's the real PL. And he can't doppelganger himself away for another 1 second, but he's got that 1 second time, and then runs back over, and then back out again. Okay, indecision galore. That's going to be Storm Spirit who gets another kill, another big streak to end. 7-1 now on this Storm. The Wyvern actually gets picked up on top lane, so like Beery was left behind.
Or Wyvern.
Alright, he lives on in the form of a Darkseer illusion.
He lost the gem too.
That was on the
Not
Wyvern?
Yeah, it was.
And you're giving a gem to a Night Stalker who's getting closer to completing his Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
Is there even a way to play as Bounty Hunter then, apart from track? Like,
Just stay with your team. Like, they're strong enough to just stick together at this point. Let the SF and the Storm do the heavy
SF
lifting.
is so big. He just finished Satanic.
He's a monster.
It doesn't even look like even with the burst damage, all they gotta do is BKB Satanic and he'll repair all the damage. 1437 gets picked off by water, so now they don't have their Dazzle. They can buy back, however, but you've sacrificed mid-racks while the PL is dead.
Yeah, Storm Spirit also has 20 Bloodstone charges.
Middle barracks has fallen.
Oh.
He can't get more than he can't get more. It's just gonna match like the 20 for 20 levels. What levels to charges?
Yeah, I think it's instant respawn at this point.
Yep.
We're very close.
Unless they reworked it, it should just be level for level.
Yeah.
So if you're level 20, you get 20 charges. You should instantly respawn.
Yeah, he will. Maybe a whole by bots.
More than likely, he's gonna get himself another charge during the fight as well.
True.
So Lena's also like, what do you even do now? You're building into an Aghanim Scepter because you realize your Bloodstone's not going to work. So do you sell? Okay, guess the Ags anyway.
Visibility.
So does bottle.
Yep.
Finish it.
Surprised you actually hold onto your Soul Ring over your bottle. The life regen isn't really that great for Lena, but I suppose you're not getting any rune control.
Maybe it's the hope and dream of turning into a Bloodstone eventually.
Yeah, true. But that's a long way away for Cloud9. They're in a real rough position. They're behind by almost 20,000 net worth and 16k experience. It's only going to get worse. Like, you're going up against a bounty hunter, and AUI did pick up that blink dagger.
Where's the body?
Okay, that's good. That gives him the ability to, like...
Demorning is not a Dazzle's friend. Down the sentries and the obs. But water, ball lightning half the map.
Yeah, it should be a free Roshan though for
Radiant's
Radiant.
middle tower is under attack.
Now you give him a free Roshan, which Storm Spirit can take the Aegis model. He's already dropping the bottle for it. He doesn't need it. He's got more life than anybody else. And the PL, well, actually there is an upside. What the PL's achieving on top lane. The Winter Wyvern has to come in and try and deal with this.
Radiant's middle tower
But they don't lose much, like a little bit of chip damage to a tier 3 tower for an Aegis the Immortal. For the hands of Storm.
Looking for me?
Yeah, Storm will have instant respawn too, so 3 lives, and maybe he farms a buyback, and like 4 lives.
It's not a pretty picture for Cloud9 at all. The PL is still getting stronger.
It's true.
Like-
But like I said before, it's just not a very good PL game. It's
Yep.
really hard for your illusions to really stack up and incredibly useful. There's just so much AoE.
What else do you do now? Like, you could try and turn the PL into a direct fighter, like getting the BKB Abyssal Blade kind of style.
Yeah, he's got the Scotty, so he's able to fight a little bit better. Just tankier. Probably does need a BKB.
Feels like it. TC. Okay, yeah, those are mana style illusions. It's a little bit more difficult for him to get through. Actually, is the BKB the way to go when you could also go something like a butterfly? Like, Shadow Fiend would have to sell his SMY to pick up the Monkey King buff. And the Storm's not going to be building an MKB.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he could. Yeah, Butterfly would probably be okay too. I was just thinking raw HP and, you know, able to deal with the Shaker.
Yeah. Well, if he gets enough space to split push, you could be looking at both Butterfly and something like a Heart over on the PL. He's really difficult to kill as water. Well, it's going to jump up, so the man we dub as Savage is about to get savaged on the bottom lane. Shaker with a final totem strike.
Gem goes back to DC.
Oh. And the Night Stalker can't, like, he can't see that coming. For all his unobstructed vision, he still can't see a ball lightning from that far happen. This PL, he's creep skipping it. He's trying to stop this push at all costs, but there's still 3 creeps that came with the wave.
Yeah, they're fine then.
He just BT. Okay, he BT back.
Storm Force.
I thought he might actually just go towards the top. But the Darkseer's up there, and the Mandor Illusions are going to keep this bottom lane in check. Goodbye, Ops Ward. They come. Into the tier 3 towers now, DC. Greaves recipe flying out in the courier at the moment too, so AUI will have that for this fight. Unless they start it right now, which they do. Frags being initiated on. Gets the Orchid off, 1-4-3-7, great control from Bulba. This time he hit the mark perfectly. And the Phantom Lancer, well, if you had a doppelganger and with the wall up, you got a couple of copies, but that Requiem of Souls was a bit of a waft out, but either way, Cloud9 going to come back now with the PL border. Still with the Aegis Immortal up his sleeve, not to mention 24 Bloodstone charges. And there's no way for them to get close, like the Winter Wyvern might get isolated and picked off, but he's the only casualty so far in DC. Actually not too confident about this. They get the diffuser charge off on TC. He doesn't have the BKB available, and the Night Stalker just gets controlled. Auto jumping in once again, had time to regenerate. He's got 52 mana coming in a second for this Storm Spirit. They'll take bottom ranks. Just doesn't look like Cloud9 have what it takes to finish this. As in, finish this push for DC and force them back.
Yep. Shadow Fiend and Storm Spirit are just way too big.
The SF now can buy whatever the hell he wants. The Scythe of Vice is also being completed on the Storm Spirit. He's got the cash for it.
I think that's pretty much the game. I don't really see another way for C9 to get back into this one.
It really does feel impossible.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a big hope. Like, you can get a Vac wall, but what's really your combo to follow up with that? Like, Light Strike Array?
Too much. Like, you saw in the last team fight, like, you said, like, Requiem was, like, not the best Requiem, but he used it right after the wall, so it kind of killed all of the illusions with the Requiem, which was, you know...
And the illusions don't even seem to do that much anyway. Like, what are you really going to do with a Storm and an Earthshaker illusion? Even the SF illusion's questionable. If it was an anti-mage, maybe.
SF's okay. There's not like any crazy auras, you know, like there's no Vlads or AC kind of thing to steal.
Yep. Storm, long jump in. Orchid's on 1-4-3-7 on the flyby. So no shallow grave. It is not a good day to be a support on Cloud9.
Drop man. You can dazzle against like an overfarmed Storm Spirit.
You can't do anything to stop it. Like, what are you going to do? Shallow grave as he's ball lightning past you? Even then, getting your timing right is going to be impossible. And then you bait out the grave like a self-grave. As your Echo Slam. And Brax got out with a double fissure as well. They'll go for the curse just to make sure that Brax does die. And it drags MSS a little bit further in. TC just man-mows this one up. There's no way to really repel them. Like, the PL, he's in the middle of the fight at the moment, but TC, he's just waiting it out. He's got no mana for his ultimate. That's the only downside for TC. We got all the damage in the world just to keep fighting. So the top ranks will be taken, and Cloud9, it's kind of that time. Like, if they lose the PL here, they'll just call it. They've lost top ranks, they're up against Megas, and there's no real hope for them. In fact, here it is. GG. Game number 1 will go the way of DC as they move
They did it.
one step closer.
Finally won.
That's their first official win, right?
No, it's not. But against C9 it is. So now they're 1-7 against C9. But you know what? They win the next 2 games. That's all that matters. But they win the next game. You know, 2-7 works. Moving on in ESL.
Yeah. The only other teams they've beaten so far were Fire, which took them to a 4-3. They beat the Peruvian team SV, and they 2-1 Root. It's a rough start, but with all new teams, teething issues do kick in. Maybe they're past it. Maybe Digital Chaos have hit their sweet spot. Either way, it's one game and one game only. We'll be back for game number 2. DC will be playing up against Cloud9 to keep their hopes alive. Maybe get all the way to ESL 1 New York. We'll be back. Stay tuned.